Good morning, and thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. We hope everyone had a great Father's Day weekend. This week, the state of Alabama finally crossed the threshold of 30,000 confirmed COVID-19 cases statewide. We're happy that Judy Smith with the Alabama Department of Public Health has returned to give us the latest information on how COVID-19 is impacting our community. We also have with us Chairman Ray Long, Chairman of the Morgan County Commission. Chairman, it's great to have you back with us today.
Good to be here.
And then, of course, Judy has stopped by City Hall more than her fair share. Judy, thank you for making time, and we're glad and we're eager to listen to your latest updates. Currently, Morgan County COVID cases are at 759 as of yesterday. While still an increase from last week, that's only about a 14% jump this week in comparison to bigger leaps in the past week. Now, free COVID testing provided by Kroger Health at Epic Church has been continuing through Thursday from 8:30 to 1:30. Appointments are required and can be booked on krogerhealth.com/COVID testing. Let me repeat that. krogerhealth.com/COVID testing. Yesterday, I was joined by Chief Allen, our Chief of Police, our CFO, John Andrieski, and I met with the Alabama Big Ten Mayors Associations as we gathered in Prattville with our police chiefs and CFOs from Alabama's 10 largest cities. Governor Kay Abbey visited and showed her support, but much attention was listening to those who serve and protect our city, our police departments. I'm proud of our residents here in Decatur who are concerned about the social tensions throughout our state, our city, and our nation. Know that we are all working together to find strategies and create opportunities for safe and open communications for clear and actionable results. Our CFOs talked about concerns related to revenue losses across the state. While Decatur has been affected, not as bad as maybe some of the other municipalities throughout the state. And I give an example of that. The city of Tuscaloosa is very concerned about the potential loss of $2 billion in annual revenues if there isn't a football season. This would be devastating according to Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox. However, Mayor Maddox was very clear that safety is the number one goal. And I mention that only because football is very passionate to many Alabamians, and especially Alabama football. I'm an Auburn fan, but that's something that I know is near and dear to many of you, and I just wanted to share. We must continue to mention this message every week about being personally responsible to prevent the spread of COVID. It's so important. Despite the number of months being upon us, we must continue to work together to social distance, wear a face mask, wash our hands with warm soapy water, and disinfect. It's through the completion of these crucial steps that we can continue to keep ourselves well, keep our families healthy, and sustain our local economy. Now, while we're happy to serve you at City Hall, if you can, please reach out to the department you would have business with first, as many trips can be saved with a phone or a call or an email correspondence. Facial coverings are strongly recommended upon entering any municipal facility, actually upon entering anywhere of a public gathering. Now, we encourage you to complete your census, and if you've not already done so, this is crucial for our state to receive the allocations, representation, and funding for our community's needs. We also want to encourage you to contact elderly neighbors, call someone in your neighborhood and check on them today. Remember, if you have questions, you can reach out to your city council representatives or me. Our information is available on the website at DecaturAlabamaUSA.com. As always, I encourage you to support our small businesses in whatever capacity you have. Remember, we are, as we plan for an upcoming Independence Day holiday, please make note that the routes for Friday, July the 3rd will be run on Monday, July 6th. We'll update that again in our next press conference. So with that, now I'd like to turn over to our Chairman of Morgan County Commission, Ray Long.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Always good to be here. You know, it's always disappointing when you see the numbers continue to go up. You know, we've seen this trend for several months now, where it's going up. But we know the pre-testing and all this it has a lot to it. And I know Ms. Smith and them do a great job to the health department. She'll talk more about that. She's professional on that, not me. But you know, we as citizens, you know, we sit here every week and we ask our citizens to take some responsibility and you know, we need them to do that. We really do. I mean, I rode by the ball fields this weekend, didn't stop too many folks there, but just to look, and people just, you know, they out, they're playing, they're doing things, and so many of them, you know, even sitting in the stands. So don't wear one of these. When you sit around, folks, you got to protect yourself and the ones around you. You know, I say Ms. Smith can dwell on it more than I can here, but I think people are getting kind of used to the fact that COVID's here, and they're not taking it as serious as they should be. And I'll give you a good example, then I'll get to the courthouse part. But I had a conversation with a lady yesterday that had been at the ball fields all day. And so when they actually had their mask and stuff, trying to stay away, but the coach, they told them, said, well, I hope we see you in church tomorrow. He said, oh no, with this COVID, we can't get out and go to church. You know, it's real. This is real. It's not something to use for excuses to get out of doing stuff. We've got to take it serious, or this thing's going to continue to spread. It's just something that we have to take our own responsibilities for ourselves and others, and don't use it for an excuse not to do something. Let's protect our citizens. At the courthouse, you know, you can't ride by any time in the morning without seeing lines, and most of them are tag and driver's license. The driver's license, you know, the state will take your name and number, and they'll call you, let you sit in the car. We had 3 911 calls last week because of heat. People didn't want to go sit in their car. They was afraid they wouldn't call them. And so, you know, it's just, you gotta protect yourself. We can't let the crowds back in the courthouse to sit in the halls and line up like we did before, because, you know, it's not good for them, nor is it good for our employees. So, you know, we hope that people will take that serious also. You know, summer's here. It's hot. When we get in the 90s, you really don't need people just standing there, especially the elderly people. When all you got to do is sign in, and they'll call you. I promise you, those guys and ladies in the driver's license officer are going to call you. They don't want people to stand there and get sick. Same thing with tags. You know, people line up for tags, and you can order those things online. The commission is not done away with the canceling the fees yet. There's no extra fees to get them online, so it's so much easier. You know, this world that we're in right now, I mean, it's here for a while. It's not going to end overnight, and so we need to adapt to it. And the commission, we're working hard to try to encourage people to stay safe and use the services that's online. There's so many services online, same as with the city here, that you can do and never leave the house. So this thing's with us, and it's not leaving. So let's be serious about it, and let's protect ourselves and protect our neighbors, and try to keep this thing from spreading anymore.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you. We know you have a commission meeting this morning. If you need to sometime excuse yourself, feel free to, okay?
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Judy, I think you have some things to share.
Well, good morning, everyone. And first of all, I want you to notice that my introduction has gotten a lot shorter, and it's been included with, she's here all the time. Now, let me say on behalf of that, you know, part of me, I was trying to think of the things that I have really been thankful for in the course of all this, and sometimes yes, these two gentlemen have about driven me crazy at times, but when I have looked at it, you know, they care about the citizens of this county and this city. And I have to remember, listen, we're in touch with each other at least 3 times a week, and sometimes 3 times a day. But I commend them for caring. I will say that this morning I did try to think of something. I know you folks are tired of hearing this, and I did try to think of something to say that would be more meaningful to you, to message it in a way that it would be helpful. And then I was reminded of a new preacher that came to town, and he came to services, and the first 3 or 4 Sundays he was there, he preached on tithing, and after about the 3rd or 4th Sunday, the elders and folks went to see him and said, okay, we've heard the tithing lesson, it's time for us to move on. And the preacher said, well, as soon as you get it, we'll move on. So as soon as we get this, we will move on. So the mayor has already given you some of the numbers. I do want to talk a little bit about them again, though, because, some folks just say, just give me the facts, ma'am, just give me the facts. Well, the facts are, as the mayor has said, we're over 30,000 cases of COVID in Alabama. Do you all realize that that is over half of, if we were to put it in Decatur, that's over half of your population? It would represent over half of the population of this city. The deaths in the state are up to 831. That's 18 since yesterday that these deaths have gone up. In this county, we are at 759, and that is a 50 increase since Friday over the weekend. The numbers are not there today. In addition to that, I also want to say that of that number, 331 of those have occurred in the last 14 days. That is a huge, that's 44% of the cases in this county have occurred in the last 14 days, in the last 2 weeks. One of the other indicators, and as Mayor Bowling said, I got excited yesterday too when I came back from the weekend and I saw that the numbers were down a little bit, and even though we were monitored over the weekend, and I thought, man, this is great. I've got something great to tell. We're going in the right direction. And then we got the hospital report and found out in a 4-county region that the Huntsville area covers, there are 70 people in the hospital. And of that, I will tell you that 20 of those are in Decatur Morgan Hospital. In addition to that, and it's not on the dashboard at this point, but in addition to that, soon you will find out that Morgan County has had 2 more deaths. Now, that is tragic, and I want to say up front that my heart goes out to these 2 families. This is a devastating, this is a real situation. And unfortunately, as both of these gentlemen have said, we don't always take it seriously until it becomes personal, until it's our family, until it's somebody we know. And I will tell you up front, the number 1 call that we're getting right now, which is about 50 times a day, but the number 1 call is, hey, there's somebody in my office. Hey, there's somebody that we work with. Hey, there's somebody that's at the plant. Hey, there's somebody that's whatever. So what do we do? Chairman Long was talking about that we're getting kind of apathetic, and I'm going to tell a personal deal. I am going to my church, and they have done a great job of following the rules. The church itself has done a great job of following the rules. But we've been open now for about 3 or 4 Sundays, and I noticed this past Sunday, all the people that were wearing masks are no longer wearing masks. Now, I'm wearing a mask, but it's kind of like we go to Walmart and we decide, well, I didn't get it, so it's not important the next time. We go to church. Well, we didn't get it, it was safe, so we go the next time. Folks, I'm going to tell you, when I was growing up, we used to play a game that was called dodgeball. And I don't know, I hope some of you still do it. But quite honestly, this virus is kind of like dodgeball. And I don't know whether those of you who don't remember how to do it, and it's a fun game, everybody lines up except the person who has the dodgeball. And then they throw it at the crowd and it hits somebody. Well, if it hits you, you're out. You might get a chance to get the ball and throw it at somebody else, but you're out. And this virus is exactly like that. It's not a respecter of people. It's not a respecter of, races. It's not a respecter of anything. The virus throws the ball and somebody's going to get it. That person then may throw that ball to somebody else, and some more folks are affected. We've got to get a hold on this game in order to take care of where we are. One of the other things that I do want to mention today is I want to mention the fallout we've had from this. And I know that, again, both the mayor and your chairman have alluded to this over time. And I'm going to preface this by saying, if you have ever had a teenager at your house or a child at your house or whatever, you know, you cook, you clean, you pay for their school, you do everything known to man for that child, and then they won't even take the trash out. They won't even clean, and you think, geez, you know, what have I done for you? Well, folks, let me tell you what's happened in this because of this virus. A lot of businesses have gone under. A lot of folks have lost jobs, particularly in the food service industry. You know, a lot of loved ones, particularly in nursing homes, don't get to be visited by the people that they love. There's a lot of helplessness, a lot of homelessness, and all we're asking is for you to please wear a mask. Well, geez, is it that hard? Now, I will say that I have had one success story. I have been in public health for 50 years, and I have finally, after 50 years, got you to wash your hands. And I am so proud of that. Now, if I could just get you to wear that mask, I'd be so happy. And if I'd get you to stay away from folks. And let's be honest, folks, there are a lot of people in your life you don't even like anyway. This is a golden opportunity for you to stay away from them. So just do what it's two simple things. When I left to come to work this morning, it was pouring down rain, and I realized that a part of my habit is just to get an umbrella. It's just a routine. I just do it, you know, to protect myself. I put shoes on to protect my feet so that I wouldn't stump my toe and have trouble. When I go to the table, I need a fork. There are some things that are just a routine process of life. I will confess that when the weather alarm goes off the first time, I kind of I kind of check it out. But when it keeps going off, I get the message that I need to protect myself. I need to do what I need to do to protect myself. Guys, this is going to be a way of life. Our life is going to change. Some of it is going to be for the better. You know, my husband is not upset that some of the clothing stores have less hours and I get to go less. But, you know, there are a lot of things that have been a part of our lives that the method that we deal with them is going to be different. I think when we come out of this, or as things smooth out, we're going to see a lot more remote working from home. There's just going to be a lot of things that are going to be different. Are they all bad? No, they're not. Do we want you to get out and have a life? Yeah, we do. But we want you to make distancing and masking a routine part of your life. Thank you for washing your hands. Now let's just get with it with the mask and the distancing. Mayor?
Judy, thank you so much for
You're so very
the
welcome.
passion you have for your job, your career, and your effectiveness in communicating the message.
You're very kind. Listen, I do want to add one other thing to this, if you'll allow me. The blood supply in the nation and in Alabama is critical right now. It is imperative that there is nothing wrong with giving blood. They're going to separate you, they're going to put a mask on you, and they're going to wear a mask. Please consider going out and giving blood. That has become a critical thing for us to do and to take care of the people in our state and our county. And I thank you for allowing me to interject that.
So we'll host a blood drive here in a couple of weeks. I can't remember the exact date, but we will host one here at City Hall. Do we have any questions this morning? Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Our next press conference is Monday, June the 29th at 10 a.m. Thank you.